Good morning, Crowie here, Sparky Coach Podcast, coming to you live with my little 4-year-old who's playing Duplo. If you hear some noises, do you want to say hi, Jesse, or not? You good? You good? Okay, we might get a casual interruption, but that's why you do it, right? Like that's why you get up and do work and go to work for your kids. So when we're running Zoom meetings and stuff, lots of people have their babies or kids or something around, and don't apologize for that, because that's probably why you get up and why you do what you do, right? No one did harder work to see their family less. All right, talking about holidays today. Holiday. Do, 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 do. You know the next word. What is it? Celebrate. How good is Madonna? Never quite, not my type, personally. Not saying it's not fantastic, just not the type. And she might be your type, and that's fantastic. And I want to encourage you to pursue that. Maybe see how you go. You never know where you'll land, right? A couple of casual emails, bit of a cold call straight in the inbox, bit of a DM. That'd be funny. see how you go. But holidays this week, school holidays in New South Wales. We're going camping on the Clarence River. Shout out to my big brother, my older brother Brendan, who won the Clarence 100, which is some kind of 100k paddle on some kind of kayak. I'm not a kayak expert, but like a long canoe, right? Not made out of wood, made out of some kind of lightweight something. And anyway, pretty cool times there. I think they paddled through the dark at some point. So shout out to the big bro. Anyway, I think he got on the news and he was like, I'm just a guy with a paddle, just making it happen, or something like that. Funny times, the local news. How good's the local news? My gosh. Anyway, going camping this week, and just wanted to reiterate and rehash and make sure everyone knew the importance of holidays, right? So it's amazing. I think if you're not going on holidays, or if they seem such like a far-fetched dream or whatever for you, you might want to ask yourself, are you probably either too busy or too important? Too busy in terms of like, I could never do that, I've got so much on, oh my gosh, like, or too important. In other words, like, as soon as I get out of the car, it just stops. As soon as I leave sight, nothing happens. And it's an interesting thing to talk about, because I was doing Pilates the other morning with my friend who's a builder, and this is just an interesting discussion, right? His dream team was, like if the owner's still on the tools. And you got to think from like a commercial perspective as a builder, if you're employing someone who's excellent, like in other words, if they're employing, let's just say me, Greg Crowe, on the tools at Crowe Electrical, just ripping and tearing, baby, ripping it and gripping it, just the rough end law, just smashing and bashing and just getting it done and really quick, and there's no mistakes, and then as your team gets larger, like it's a bit slower, and maybe not, like, but I dare say, like, if you got to see your business would probably be like a football team ish, soccer, NRL, they've all got 11 to 13 players, whatever. You probably got like 2 or 3 superstars every team that size, maybe 4 or 5 okay, and 4 or 5 meh or get or like whatever. No, but like you probably got a pretty good team, but the goal is to make okay good, good great, and great excellent. And I had this one staff member that came to us, and on the first week I was like, God, have you ever done that? Like, oh man. And then it was really interesting because fire, like, you could not, this guy had something that you just like diligent, on time, unfazed, not fast, overtime, whatever the company needed. And I was like, oh, this is kind of awesome. Like, all he had to do was like maybe a bit slower in some on-site work front. We gave him the experience under some good tuition, and he became, I'm almost going to say, MVP, right? Like, of the company. So I would say he went from okay to good to great to excellent, and I think that's the goal, that someone would come through your company and do that. But yeah, holidays, right? And back to this commercial opportunity for the builder, I think you can grow a team and grow it really, really well. I think you can. And that's what we did as a company. And you just need some good staff members and some good processes. And don't forget, the process guides the people. And I think, people try and get off the tools too early or leave people alone too early. By leaving people alone, I mean like they'll start a new tradie and just be like, oh, sweet, all good. Like, see you in 6 months or 12 months at the Christmas party. Oh, yeah, how was your year? And it's so easy to do as a busy business owner, but some things aren't meant to be busy, and I don't think you're meant to be busy. I don't think you were born to open the computer every night at 10:30. I think you might need some boundaries. And if you looked at like the employee sort of thing, they get 4 weeks annual leave, 2 weeks personal leave, and roughly 2 weeks public holidays. I think it's 9 days, depending on what state you're in. But roughly 8 weeks, backed off from the business a year. And I think you've got to see yourself like an employee in this sense. Like, you've got to be like, why can't you go on holidays? And sometimes a holiday is fantastic because when you go away, and I'd encourage you, if it feels far-fetched for you at the moment, just take a long weekend. Take like a Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then do Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. And what's going to happen is you're going to see where the cracks in the business is, where the chinks in the armor. You're going to see where the carpet doesn't match the drapes. And you're going to ask yourself the question, if you can't, then why can't you? So if you can't go on holidays, or it's too hard to go on holidays, or it's like, then why? It could be like, oh, it's just me on the tools. Okay, well, this is what I'm going to say. Like, and this is why you see people go, oh, I'm just going to stay by myself, and maybe I'll have an apprentice and whatever. And it's impossible because you will never go on holidays, right? Like, you will never do anything, right? You can barely drive to get a coffee in peace without like someone ringing you. And it's going to show some foundational cracks in your business, and like I said, some chinks in the armor. It's going to show you what you need to work on. So a lot of times you see business owners, knowingly or unknowingly, or just from sheer like, I'll do it, like I'm going to get it done, place themselves as what we call in here the bottleneck. They place themselves as the decision maker, and no one else can make decisions but me. Everything must go through me. I know that bit about the invoicing, this about no one can quote but me, no one can invoice but me. No one knows where the fan extension rods but me. No one knows how to drive manual but me. No one knows how to put petrol in the car but me. Is it diesel or petrol? Yeah! Oh my gosh. So like, you can get in these real... And I think that's what holidays do, right? They pull you out of your day-to-day experience. They pull you out of your day-to-day washing machine or hamster wheel or treadmill or dryer, whatever you want to call it. And they'll then give you a break, which you need a break. Why do you need a break? You need headspace. Why do you need headspace? Because I believe that's the most important tool you've got. You would have heard me tell you the story. I asked a question on our work platform, like, what's the most important tool you've got? And everyone's like, my phone. It can play Snake One and Words with Friends. Oh my gosh, Snake One. And you're like, I don't agree. I believe the most important tool you have is your headspace. Why? Because your headspace helps you make good decisions. If you're in a good headspace, you can make some good decisions, make some good money. And it's often like I reflect on my business journey, and I was speaking to one of my good mates who runs a couple of really big brands the other night. We're having a bit of a beer at the pub, watching the Sharkies win of the Sharks, 2016 reheated, maybe. But he's a Raiders supporter. A lot more Raiders supporters than I would have thought. I am talking NRL. Just part of what I do. We talk NRL here. And maybe you're an AFL guy. I don't even know. AFL guys, shout out. We've got Andrew Swallow coming on at some point when we can... it's so funny. I was speaking... Phoenix goes to school with Andrew's kid. And Phoenix is like, he's been interested in asking people what they do for jobs recently. I'm like, oh, this is, his child's name's Dad. He kicks a ball for a living. We just both burst in like laughter going, yeah, actually what you do, you kick a ball between posts for like a job. That's your job. That's how funny is that, right? When you break it down. But, or sometimes between the center posts. Maybe you're hustling. I'm not really an AFL guy. I got to admit, live, it's very, very impressive to watch everyone running around and doing their thing and positioning himself and hustling. Super cool game. Anyway, what were we talking about? Holidays. You've got to be like, they're going to bring you perspective. They're going to bring you family memories. They're going to bring you joy. They're going to bring you happiness. They're going to probably bring you some pain a little bit. But this is why you've got to see yourself as an employee. What happens when you're an employee and you're on holidays? He just went. like, hey, Dave, I'm going away from this point to this point. And he's like, okay. And he go, cool, sweet. That's just, I don't really care who roughs that in, fits that off. It's like, yeah, it's cool. I'll get all the details to you, and I'm out. And I think you've just got to make sure that you treat yourself as an employee of your own business, right? Because it's like you should be able to do those things. And by going away, it's going to show exactly what your company is lacking, exactly where you're too important, exactly where you're too busy. And pulling myself back, I'm like, far out. Like literally every single day we drove like, from Cronulla area through Tarrant Point to like pretty much, if you're not from the area, we're driving from like a coastal town to the city to do work pretty much 80% of the time. About a 45-minute drive to 2 hours if someone has an accident in the airport tunnel, whatever. But like, but driving past this town, Tarrant Point, where all the wholesalers were, and I guess that was just, if you look at it from a top-down perspective, like a plan view, you'd be like, why did I not buy commercial property in this place? Like I actually can't even believe it now that didn't happen. And just it was the silliest move. Why? Because I was so busy in the business and was laughing with my friend at the pub the other night, just going like those pub chats where I'm like, woe is me, oh my gosh, and I was like, how did I miss that? Like I know what to look for, and I missed this, and we're kind of laughing. My old boss was like, you got to buy one of these units, and I think if you're from the area, you'll laugh at this. They were like 400 grand, and I think now they're probably 2 to 2.5. So it's like, yeah, Matt, probably around that area, what like at least what this thing would have been worth. And it's like, okay, that'd be an extra $2 million in the bank account right now. Plus you wouldn't have paid rent somewhere for the last 15 years as well. Like huge turnaround. And it's just interesting. And it's like, how did I miss this like $3 million situation? Because I was too busy in the hamster wheel, on the treadmill, in the washing machine. No one can do it but me. I'm the only person that can do anything. I'm the only person that can fit a PowerPoint off. Let me check that screw. Let me put that ceiling fan together. Let me drive to site and show you guys. Like, it's like I was so important and so needed and so stressed and drinking so many small flat whites and having so much milk and too busy not doing the things I loved and too busy not going away on holidays, or if I did, have to cut them short or have to answer heaps of phone calls, or, too busy. I remember being at one of my good mates' birthday parties, and I got a phone call from a builder, and I had his kid in my arms at his birthday party, right, at the child's birthday party, and walked away and took a phone call for like 7 to 8 minutes, and I'm like, that's an inappropriate activity. Like if that happened to my child, I'd be like, get off the phone, you idiot. Idiot. That was Ren and Stimpy quote. But like, I just want to highlight how silly the things you can do when you're busy and stressed. So I've been doing a lot of, like Pilates, yoga, sort of bar, I guess you would call it, just because it's local to me. And in the mornings, and when you're under fatigue and you're so tired, and if you haven't done much body weight stuff, it's so hard. And I remember like being under so much fatigue, and she's like, put the left leg top wise. That's a Simpsons quote. But like, she's like, put your left leg like out, and my right leg's going out. And she's like, no, Greg, left leg. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm so tired. I can barely, and I'm so sore from holding myself in this position for the last 18 hours. I can barely determine my lefts and rights, right? So it's super interesting to look at from that point of view, and be, oh my gosh, like when you're tired, you make some bad decisions. When you're too busy, you make some bad decisions. You can make good decisions for so long, but not too long, right? So it's really important, wherever you are, just go home, tell your partner, tell your friends, tell your family, tell someone, it's time to book a holiday. Crowie told me you have to book a holiday. Tell them and just book it and just go. And you're going to have some consequences, of course. You're going to have some ramifications, of course. But it's actually a really healthy thing that gets brought up, and it's really good. So in signing out, I'm going to tell you, book your holiday ASAP. Where are you going to go? Maybe you'll go local. Maybe the goal is to go away for 4 days and 5 days and 2 weeks and 3 weeks. Maybe you go somewhere with heaps of reception, big 5G tower next to the camping site. And then maybe down the track, you go somewhere with no reception, and you try and slowly remove yourself and slowly reveal the cracks in your armor that you need to plug in order to have a successful business that can be creating and generating and making money without you being there in the premise and without you being around directly. And I never really got down to this, but just in chatting about that, the builder I was talking to, that might not be your ideal client. Your ideal client might not necessarily be someone that demands you on site. I get it from that point of view, but maybe not. My 4-year-old's playing a little outro, so we're going to bounce. Have fun, book your holiday, enjoy life. Don't take your business too seriously. You might never get out alive. Peace. See ya. Bye.